Here's what Hi everybody, I'm back sitting in my bedroom talking to the camera. Welcome back to my channel on YouTube. My name is Dean, and I'm happy you're back. This is also my 10th video. Isn't that great? I did it. I'm like Quentin Tarantino. I made 10 movies. Now, I needed an idea for this video. While I was thinking independently, I realized, God, I can't crack this adult shit. I can't do it. It sucks. I still feel like I have no business being 25 years old.
25.
I feel so goddamn 19. All week I was doing things like, do 25-year-olds still do this shit? But then I realized adulting is it's whatever you want it to be, really. There are so many things that I've learned, and there are so many things that I haven't learned. You don't need to have breakfast. You don't even need to have lunch. You just gotta eat something during the day. I haven't been to the doctor in a while. I still freak out when my hand or my foot falls asleep. I used overdraft to buy a cardigan when I was 20 years old. I don't know what to do if I see a beehive. Man, like the first time I ever heard of a tax deadline, I had to find out the embarrassing way that I owe the government money. This is for real. When I was 21 years old, I was out at a bar drinking with friends. And one of my friends said like, did you guys get your taxes done? You know.
Standard bar conversation.
I thought, yeah, it's gonna be a while before I have to get that done. Cause, what? I thought I was still a kid. Mind you, I had been an independent adult for about a year and a half at that point. Like, I literally thought like,
I'm not a mommy or a daddy.
what am I, a CEO? I don't need to pay taxes. Last time I checked, I wasn't a landlord. How stupid was I? But no one told you. They don't teach you that in school. They don't say like, by the way, every single April, H&R Block puts up ads all around the place where you live saying, bring your stuff in here so we can do stuff for you. A big part of being an adult and feeling like an adult is having a job, being independent, having responsibilities. You know, taking responsibilities for your own actions. Things like that. Here are the jobs that I have had. It's crazy the amount of times I've been fired. 7. My first job was at a place called Cumbres, which is a deli, like a high-end deli. There's one in downtown Toronto, and there's one in downtown Dundas, where I'm from for some reason. I don't know. But all the real housewives of Dundas would go there, and I would be in the back with so many pimples on my face and just the tightest braces. And I would be spraying down bins that they would mix ground beef in. And then one time I didn't spray a bin very well, and they take cross-contamination very seriously, as they should, and I got fired on the spot. I thought that only happened like in movies. I didn't know. It is a very strange feeling when you're 15 years old and an adult walks up to you and goes, you're fired, get out of here. It's hard to imagine life moving on after that moment. I worked at 2 Metros, which is a grocery store. There was 2 in Dundas because Dundas is full of divorced parents and they need separate places to go so they don't run into their former significant other. That's what I think. I worked at both. Fired from one, quit the other, which is crazy. And then I worked at another grocery store, a better grocery store called Fortino's, which is, it's like Loblaws. Like a toy section and like an electronics department. Like it's just like a bigger, better. I remember the guy who hired me was like, this is Fortino's, this is a Metro, alright? This is a completely different ballgame. This place is a beast. What? He was expecting me to be like, wow, really? Like, I was like, fucking cool, man. This is sad. And then I got fired. And the day that I got fired from that job was probably one of the worst days in my life where I really had to think about what I was doing and take some responsibility. I was 17 years old. It was the day that my high school emailed report cards out to all the parents because they knew that the system of like giving it to the kid at the end of the day and hoping they showed their parents just wasn't working anymore. So they're like, let's cut out the middleman and send it right to the parents. So fucking 1,000 kids can get grounded for the weekend for getting a 68 in science. Like, who gives a shit? Anyway, I got home from school on this Friday at 3:30 p.m. and I had to work at 4:30. Man, that life, like having a job in high school, it felt good because you're like, well, I have my own money, like I have, you know, I feel grown up, but still, it just sucked. You spend 7 hours at high school and then you get like maybe an hour break, a break, you know? Like, and then you gotta go to work with adults. That was the first time I was ever like, well, I'm fucking grinding out. Like, I'm out here. My dad got the report card. He goes, get in the car, I'm driving you to work. And the whole car ride, he was berating me about all the bad marks that I was getting. The same things were written on my report card for years and years. Like, needs to work on staying focused, satisfactory, 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 satisfactory. Hey, where is that word anywhere else besides a fucking report card? He was just like, listen, I hope you can turn it around. You're going to college soon. Like, we're finally gonna be past this high school shit. I want you to know, like, you know, you gotta do better, you gotta be ready for college and stuff like that. Even though I was going to school for comedy, writing, and performance, which is literally fucking clown school, okay? So right before he dropped me off for my shift at Fortino's that evening, he went, wait, before you go, I'm super proud of you. You're making money, you got a job. At least you got that. That's pretty great. Like, you know, whatever, go, at least you're killing it there. I get out of the car, he drives away. I go into the building. One of my coworkers, Matt, this fucking snitch, if you're watching this, eat shit. He goes, Lou wants to see you upstairs. And I was like, fucking Lou, man. And he sits me down in this stupid conference room and he just goes like, buddy, like, I know I've been trying to like, you know, I've been trying to like you. I've been trying to, you know, tell people that you're a good worker and, you know, like I just don't think you're Fortino's material, you know? And in the back of my head, I was like, that's great news. And then he was like, give me your shirt, the apron, the hat. Sorry, man. We're just gonna go in a different direction with this. Good luck. This is, you're fired. And then I had to call my dad after he said all that stuff to me. I told my dad everything I just said, and then he went, oh, really? After I said all that? All right, I'm turning around, coming to get you. And then he went to work and I stayed in my room and cried for a little bit because it was crazy. Then I worked as a security guard for McMaster football games. Yeah, I did that for like 2 weeks with my friends. We just had to wear like yellow shirts and be like, everyone go this way. Was not securing anything. I had odd construction jobs, which is insane. I went on Craigslist looking for, those are my parents' suggestions. They're like, go on Kijiji, go on Craigslist, look for like odd labor jobs around town. And I was like, this can't end well. And thankfully nothing bad happened to me, but like, I would literally just get an email, type like, hey, I'm looking for some work, I could help you this weekend with this job. Literally cement mixing, drywall, shit like that. I would, like, there was one day I just picked up rocks out of a pit and put them outside of the pit so we could fill the pit with like different rocks. And that's construction, I guess. But no, I got paid in cash. Not enough, but I didn't know it wasn't enough. I worked like 5-hour days and they gave me like $75 and I would remember being like, sick, cash. 2 guys who were like in their 30s would pick me up out front of my home at 6 a.m. They were all cigarettes and coffee and I was all peanut M&Ms and Powerade. I still am. They were scary, they didn't talk much, and then one day they really got to know me, and then I accidentally told them that I wanted to be a comedian, and they never stopped making fun of me so much that I realized I hated them, and then I quit one day while they were on their way to pick me up. One of the guys texted my phone saying, we'll be there in 30, and then I went, I'm not coming today. And then he was like, why? You could have told us this last night, and I went, nah, I quit. Cause I didn't like sign a thing. It was all under the table. Like I was getting paid in cash. They can go fuck themselves. Fuck construction, man. Trust me, I think you already knew this, but construction was not for me. Just so dirty and dusty all fucking day long. Anyway, I also worked a job at Dundas Community Services. It was after my first year at Humber College. I went back to my hometown for the summer and I got the job as the Youth Employment Coordinator at Dundas Community Services. I was basically a social worker. I would help kids make resumes. I would run a babysitting course for 11 and 12-year-olds. That's true, here's a picture. I had a desk and a computer. I had to call people. Actually, during the first week that I had that job, I was still 18 years old, so I was underage, but I had my brother's ID. I went out drinking with my friends on like a Thursday night in downtown Hamilton. And at one point, I just lost all my friends because that's what happens sometimes. I finally used that one offer from my dad that he always gave me saying like, you know, you can call me if you ever need a ride home. I didn't think I would ever have to do it, but that's the get out of jail free card. But sometimes you just don't want your parents seeing you in that state. But this time I kind of had no other choice. I didn't have any money left for a cab and I kind of didn't even know where I was. So anyway, called my dad, told him where I was, and he's like, all right, stay there. I sat down on a curb and then I just woke up to like the grill of his car right here. Like just blaring the horn in my face. He didn't hit me with his car, but he just parked it right here and the grill was just it was hot because he was fucking speeding downtown. I was like, gotta go get my drunk fucking son. But I just woke up on the curb like this to headlights and like a hot grill of a car and just the horn blaring. And then I got in the car and it was a silent ride home, obviously, because I was in so much trouble, but I had to be at work at 9 a.m. the next day. Dundas Community Services was a place that you could call to like arrange plans for things that took place around town. If you wanted to rent a space, you went through them. If you wanted to, if you needed like an odd job too, like that was a way, like you could call that place. We would give you like a list of senior citizens who lived around town who needed their garage cleaned out and they were willing to pay. And then that's how like, you know, kids in the summer would stay busy and make money, shit like that. I'm not gonna walk by the babysitting course thing because that was basically me doing stand-up comedy for 11 and 12-year-olds. And this has happened since. 2 of the girls who I taught in that babysitting course have messaged me online saying, hey, you remember us? We've seen your videos. Holy shit. And they took a picture in front of my old house. These 11 and 12-year-old children would come sit down in a bunch of chairs at a community center in the middle of their summer to listen to me. Here's what I would say. I'd be like, if you are gonna play some games with this child, they know their house way more than you do. Don't play hide and go seek first. If you're gonna play hide and go seek, snoop around their home first so you get to know the layout a lot more. Because before you know it, you're gonna be playing hide and seek with a kid who knows how to hide in a cupboard you didn't even know was there, okay? Every single day I would go into this room to go good morning class, because that's what I was. I was basically a teacher. I would go morning everyone, and then they would go hi Dean, and then when it was lunchtime they would all run up to me like I was an NBA player who went back to the hood. They would ask me if I had Vine, they would ask me if they could have me on Snapchat. I go, no way. This was in 2014. They all had phones. They all had iPhones, like better phones than me, with crazy cases on them. I had to take away 3 phones one day. Some of them would be like, I'm gonna tell my mom that you took my phone. My mom says my phone's not allowed to go anywhere except my pocket. And then I'd be like, good, tell your mom. What's she saying later? I miraculously pulled off teaching 11 and 12-year-olds how to babysit. Most of them, as far as I know, are good eggs. Now I want to talk about making that transition from high school to post-secondary education, aka college and university. I've already mentioned it, I went to Humber College for comedy, writing, and performance. Now, thinking back, I had absolutely no business being out of my parents' sight at 17 years old. I'm a young kid, I was born in November. So I graduated high school in like June 2013, and then I got to Humber College in late August of 2013. Still, such a kid. And the independence just watched over me. Did I go buy groceries? No. I made friends with someone who was of legal drinking age on my floor, and I gave them cash and they bought me a ton of alcohol to keep in my fridge. Did I bring pillows from childhood to keep on my bed? Yeah. Was it my first time ever having a laptop? Yeah. Did I discover porn? Yeah. Did I get tonsillitis a few times when I was living in residence? Oh yeah. Because one big vent just circulates all these rooms. It's basically still high school, you're just living in your locker. Why did I think that I was capable of partaking in a school structure without my parents' supervision? I still cannot believe I somehow made it and graduated. I had to be on time for many different classes throughout the day, on a campus, not just through hallways. And sure, all those jobs that I got fired from while I was in high school, I saved up a lot of money and paid for my own school, so thankfully I don't have any student debt. And I even sucked at working after my 2 years at Humber, because I had to get a real job and become an adult. I got a place with Jacob, it was fantastic. And then I was a shoe shiner for a year. You heard me, I was a shoe shiner. Because I guess it was the 1960s again when I left college. I worked as a shoe shiner for 1 year and I developed back problems from it because you're just bending over shining business guys' shoes. I was 19 years old and I was hungover every day and I would shine shoes between the hours of 11 p.m. and 6 p.m. I was so poor and angry at the world. And a few times, I'm not joking, a few times I considered becoming a drug dealer. I knew a few guys who sold some shit. And I was this close about 3 or 4 times to texting them being like, do you need extra hands? And after I was done being a shoe shiner, I worked at a lot of different restaurants in the downtown core of Toronto. I've been fired from 2 out of 5 of them. Keep in mind, all while I'm doing this, I'm trying my best to do stand-up comedy. I'm making sketches with my friends on YouTube. We're still trying to make it as entertainers and comedians. So thankfully, we were the funnest guys at all of our jobs. And sometimes as side jobs, I would go on a Facebook page and if anybody needed brand ambassadors for some bullshit going on around the city, I would apply for it, get the job, and just sewer myself during the interview process. I was a brand ambassador for Nike, I was a brand ambassador for Dentine Gum, and I was a brand ambassador for the Toronto Blue Jays, and I got fired from all 3, and it was so fucking embarrassing. There's nothing quite like taking 3 buses to get fired. And then I would just get home and Jacob would go, how's your day, buddy? And I go, another one lost. And then we'd have a drink, or 20. Now, there's nothing more deancore than talking about how many times I have been fired. I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world. Because I think I found something that I'm good at. Is telling everyone how shitty I am at stuff. I'm not really quite sure how to end this video. I'm just letting everyone know that it never gets easier, and it's not like once you become an adult, you're gonna have everything figured out. When I was 17, 18, and 19 years old, I was expecting things to just fall into place for me because I knew my adult years were approaching, and that's just not the case. It's a day-to-day struggle, and you gotta figure it out, and we are all capable. It's just so funny to reminisce and look back on things. There are little things that come into play in my adult life where I'm like, wow, that's still me from back in the day. That's still my stupid brain doing that. You just have to find a balance and believe in yourself and know that you can handle a lot. Like I've said before, we're all just out here trying, and trying is the most important thing you can do. I hope everyone figures out what they love. I hope everyone figures out what they're good at. I hope everyone figures out that this is just a game and we're all playing. And the sooner you realize all adults are still just as wrong as most kids, you're gonna be alright. And I wanna say thank you so much for watching this video. I'm not sure what this video was, but it was something. But I hope you had fun. I hope you had a laugh. I hope you like and subscribe for more deancore. I'm gonna be putting a list to my socials down below, and I'm gonna put links to my podcast down below. I do it every single week, and it's a whole lot of fun. I did it. 10 videos in 10 weeks. I did it. Let's go for 11. Bye everybody. Have a wonderful day.